desktop and the microphone going. That's very, very unprofessional. I can't even see my chat. Hang on. Every time. Okay, I can see my chat now. Hello. I am really early, yeah. Hi, Phil and Lee. Hi, Mickey P. Oh, we've got the TikTok crew over. I need to do some more streaming on TikTok, quite frankly. I forgot about it. I forgot. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I'm having a beer because I've been doing all this vinyl streaming. I can't drink alcohol when I'm playing vinyl. I won't do it because it doesn't work. Hi, C. James. I've been starting early because I have early starts now. I'm back at university. So, hello everyone else. I don't want to start saying names because I have a massive fear of leaving someone out. So I'm just, fuck all of you. Malin, thank you for subscribing. For 14 months now. Hang on, I need my other screen. So, yeah, last night we did 9 hours of vinyl. It was brilliant. We had about 230 people around midnight, around 1 p.m, 1 a.m. dancing, well, listening to the Venga Boys. I was dancing to it. It was crazy. I was getting a lot of raids last night, which was wonderful, if not a little bit unnerving. But yeah, because I'm playing on vinyl, I don't drink alcohol, so I'm having a Moretti. I really like Moretti. Does anyone else like Moretti? Hi, 90 Days. Punk steak gets me all the time. What's a punk steak? Oh, much better than Carling. Do you know what? I used to drink Carling. When I was a proper drinker, back in the Dizzy, when I used to be a bit of a townie, yeah, Carling all the way. Carling, darling. Carling, darling. We need a drink amber vinyl set. Have you not seen what happens when I drink and I play vinyl? Is Richie in yet? Yeah, Richie will tell you what happens. And I wonder if Richie can find the link to show you what happens. I'll tell you. I'm sure Richie will say as well. When I have a bit to drink, yeah, we had some vinyl frisbees, and one of the vinyl, it was one vinyl frisbee. It was one vinyl frisbee. I'm a good drunk. I am a funny drunk, but I get really expressive, even more expressive. And it's a song that I don't mind it, but it's not my favourite Tidy release. It's Jez and Charlie. It's about music. And I find it very difficult to mix it because it's got an overly shuffly, out of the pocket shuffle to the timpani, to the percussion on it. And I found it particularly difficult to mix it that night. And I was like, I'm going to throw it. Because like in a mock pissed off of it kind of thing, but underneath being a bit low-key pissed off. And I threw the vinyl, and I threw it at the webcam, not thinking in my drunk mind that it would just fly past and look really cool as it whoosh, went past. No. I hit it square on the webcam. And then the webcam just fell off. And the clip for it is just amazing. It's so funny. No, I didn't, Rennie. I didn't. I'll have a look at that in a bit. But yeah, it was that's what happens when I drink and play vinyl. I don't enjoy it, like, because I'm so, like, I love DJing anyway, and I will never say that I take my DJing seriously. I take it sincerely. And I can have those drunk streams because I like to have that, because I know you guys like to drink a lot, you know, on the weekends if you do drink. But I also understand it, you know, for those of my viewers that don't drink, because there are, in most instances for me, not drinking is the best thing in my life. Like, because one, you know, like the reason why we're all here today, the demo drop, I can't make music if I'm drunk. I don't have the attention span for it. Like, I like me when I'm sober, like, if we're going to get like all serious about it, but I also like me when I'm a bit pissed as well. So I think that that's a good balance. What do you guys think? But yeah, here we are. Let me just see if I can get my chat to behave itself on my Ujma. What's it? You're a bloody legend, Phil and Lee. I want to attach my... Oh, there we go. There we go. Perfect. Thank you, OBS. Yeah, well, you know me. I usually spend the first half of the year not drinking at all. And then I'll break the seal on my birthday. My birthday's in July. And then after that, it didn't exactly go out the window, but there'll be 2 or 3 occasions where I'll drink and I'll have a hangover the next day, and I'll be like, I am not doing that again. And then I'll do it again, and then I might do it a third time, and then I'm done again. So like now I'll just have a couple. And today it's Moretti. So cheers. But yeah, we will do a drunk stream, but we'll probably do do you know what I'm gearing up for next? The next thing I want to do, you know, when we get the new DJ booth, there's going to be I want to do my first charity stream with it for Set for Love for Last Night a DJ Saved My Life, because oh, and I've got a t-shirt here. Look, they sent me a t-shirt, and that's to help little kids in Africa. And there's been talk of me being able to possibly do, I think it was a mountain climb or something like that they're going to be involving me in, because I've done, like, do you remember when we did a charity thing for Last Night a DJ Saved My Life? We did, I think it was a 54-hour stream, didn't I? Something like that. And we raised about $3,000. So I want to do another biggie for them, like, because I was supposed to do one last Christmas and I didn't do it, and I kept saying I'm going to do it this year, and I didn't have time to fit it in. So my first big charity stream will be like when we get the new box, the new DJ booth, and then we'll, because I think that's the problem, you know. I've been trying to do another long stream, like my record, for anyone that doesn't know, is 62 hours live stream DJing. Obviously no alcohol. So like it's difficult for me to do that without a real incentive. Like, if it's just for me, I'll get a little bit bored, or like my brain will just say, just go to bed. Just what are you doing? Like, you're an idiot. But if I'm doing it for, I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. I'm very, very used to sleep deprivation, but it is different doing it sober. Let's put it that way. It is very different. But it's not like it's, I meditate, So my brainwave state is going, my brain waves are going into under alpha for a little bit of time, or at least alpha, which is good. So towards the end, that's when I like hammer the cans of Monster and what's it called? Nootropic. I can't remember what it's called now. All legal stuff. But then, like, it's very difficult to meditate because your brainwaves go faster. So it's kind of like that's when I switch off. That's when I go to sleep, kind of thing. But I wouldn't recommend it, not unless you're used to meditating. Hi, Harrison. I like this starting early because we get to have a bit of a chat first, don't we? Yay. But yeah, I think that is the key for me, is to try to find a better reason for making myself feel so tired. I mean, it's not too bad because I love what I do. So, you know, like the dopamine release that you get from, just let you know there is a burp in there if you hear me burping. And I'm sorry for burping if you don't like burps. I can't really help it. You know, like the dopamine release that you get when you're making a track, Cosmic Butterfly knows. And when you level up, like, you get the same thing for DJing as well. And that's where I find it's not difficult for me to carry on DJing for hours and hours and hours and days. Drugs is harder, please, Daddy. That's one way of doing it. But the problem with doing that is, well, number one, it's very illegal. And number two, there's a big drop-off point. But it is a way. It's not the way, though. I think for me, you know, with the whole being an ambassador for mental health and stuff, it wouldn't sit right for me to, you know, encourage people to do things like that. Because there are other ways. And one of those ways, going back to drinking alcohol, is not to drink alcohol. So if you are going to do a long stream, don't drink alcohol. Drink lots of water. Stretch. Breathe. Learn to breathe properly. Learn to breathe a square. Learn to deep breathe. Take cold showers. Do yoga. Get a sponsor for I don't even drink Monster anymore. What's that? There's a fly in here. I don't even drink Monster anymore. No, you have to breathe. But remember, with all that said, I am pro-choice. So it's up to you guys. As long as you're not hurting yourselves or hurting anyone else, that's all that matters. But I'm just saying, in terms of doing anything for a long amount of time without sleep, you've got to do it sensibly. Knighted Ace, thank you. Hi, Princess. Yeah, sleep's so important. I read a lot of books on sleep. I researched a lot into sleep in my lifetime, and from not having a lot of it when I was younger. And it's important. It's really important. You get to sleep, y'all. All of this, I sleep when I'm dead. Oh my God. It's crazy. Like, I mean, I wouldn't swap a lot of my life at all because I've had a lot of fun, but it's really important to sleep. Sleep is when your brain garbage collects. I love that. Yes. So if you're drinking coffee, Cosmic Butterfly, and you know that it's messing up your sleep, stop drinking it after like 12 midday. And obviously, for those of you who do know, you'll know that I'm having I've done tests for ADHD, and then I'll have to have the whole conversation of, do I want to medicate that? And I don't know. I don't know, because I found coping mechanisms. I found ways to allow myself to navigate the world in a way that is kind of like, it kind of works. Like, excuse me. I still find it very hard to be on time for things. Really struggle with that. And a way that I've learned to deal with that is I literally pretend. I can fool myself. I can fool my own brain into believing thoroughly that it's an hour ahead, time-wise. And then because of that, I'll get to gigs on time without the stress of being late. And this is another thing that happens with people who are ADHD, neuroatypical, addictive personalities. We can get addicted to the stress hormone that's created when we're about to be late. That, oh God, quick, we've got to leave now. We're going to be late. Like, you can get addicted to that adrenaline rush that your body's creating. Cortisol. Yes. Yeah. It's important to keep note of that, because too much of that floods your body. So you have to learn, you have to be your own detective. You have to be your own investigator with your thoughts, with your actions, with your patterns. It's because it works the same way as the dopamine response in normal people. Do you know what? If that's true, I don't know about that being a fact, but that would make sense, wouldn't it? And this is why it goes back to, I think everyone is on this spectrum. I think everyone has got bits of that. DJ McDJ faces, in my experience, meds are best used as an in the moment. I need my brain to shut the fuck up and perform for a few hours. Yes! Type deal, rather than a long-term solution. They're not so great in terms of cumulative effects. No, you're right. And I watched another not documentary, but a doctor talking about ADHD meds versus ADHD long-term changes to your lifestyle. So he said there's two ways that you can do it. You can either prescribe someone these drugs for life, or you can be prescribed them temporarily, but then also go through kind of like, I don't want to say the word counselling, but management, time management, skill making, you know, that kind of stuff. Learning how to meditate. And a lot of people who have ADHD say they can't meditate. Everyone can meditate. Everyone knows how to switch off. So you probably just got your own way of doing it. But the studies show that at the end of it, the people who, like, the studies show that if you learn how to manage your life in terms of putting in things to help you, not medication wise, that will actually last longer, if not for life, than it would do to take medication and then come off the medication, which makes sense. Unreal God says, for me, I've changed my lifestyle and focused on being observant on where my focus is. Oh my God, I so get that. Without medication, it is a constant check-in on myself, but it does help. Yeah, I completely know that one. Oh my goodness. Does anyone else have the thing where you can get so in depth with something and you know you're wasting your time, but you just do it anyway? It's kind of like a coping mechanism. I want to give an example. I'm just going to, because there's so many of them. Rearranging and arranging like a drawer or something, or overly like picking at a carpet. I remember doing that years ago. I could have used the Hoover, right, but I didn't. I just decided I was going to pick up all of the bits of whatever was on this carpet or this rug. And in my head, I'm like thinking, well, why am I doing that? I've got a Hoover. But it was like I needed to be like, it was almost as if that's kind of like a processing moment. But I do understand what you said there, 'cause you have to literally take yourself out of that cycle or that focus. It's either hyper focus or it's none at all. My personal experience is better to treat it like you would a headache pill. You wouldn't take them if you didn't actively have a headache at that moment. Yeah. See, that makes sense, because the ADHD, well, there's two types. There's slow releasing and what's the other one? Opposite of slow, fast releasing. This is another thing that I've been tested for as well, as dyslexia. And I know that I get things mixed up a lot and times wrong and stuff. But I didn't know that was related to ADHD. Rennie says most people with ADHD get the dopamine response when getting stressed by a deadline, getting too close, which is why they get the award from procrastinating. Whoa! Strumming my pen with his fingers. That is exactly what happens. Oh my God. My brother does that with the carpet, rolls little balls of fluff. Yeah. It must be a comfort thing. I'm glad I'm not alone on it. But yeah, we have to find coping mechanisms. That's the word. Coping mechanisms. It's all energy, the way I see it, and this is science. I'm a very spiritual person, if you want to use that word, but I'm very science orientated. It's just energy. Energy cannot be destroyed, but it has to be changed from one kind of energy into another. So if we've got nervous energy, if we're anxious, if we're frustrated, if it's all up here, it's just learning about harnessing it. And that ties in very nicely back into why we're here today. Because it's music production, and that is a type of expression, which is energy. So it's harnessing our energy. Good talk. Okay, so first up we've got Danny Gibson, and this is The Target. Where's my little folder? There it is. Please stay by day order. Windows Explorer. Honestly. First world issues. Okay. Here we go.
engage that target. Your speeds are rising, I'm going too fast. Your speeds are rising, I'm going too fast, going too fast. 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 All units engage that target. Your speeds are rising, I'm going too fast. Engage that target. All units engage that target. Your speeds are rising, I'm going too fast. All units engage that target. Your speeds are rising, I'm going too fast.
Do you know what I really like about this? Well done, Danny. That's Danny Gibson and the target. I want to bring back taking time on the percussion. I want that to be a thing again, because Nice One and Real Gods, that had some really, really nice percussion in it. It was really interesting. See, Harrison J says, yes, that's what we need to do. We all need to start. Instead of just throwing a loop on there with the LFO tool or chopping it up and fruity slicer or whatever. Really spend some time on the groove, on the percussion, on the timbre, in the panning, getting it all just to sit well in the mix down, not having everything hitting always the same things, polyrhythms. Oh, well done, Sheehan. Sheehan stayed up for ages last night. Are you in Australia? I think it was about 6 a.m. when they left the stream. But yeah, I'm glad you got some sleep. Yeah, but that's what really stuck out to me about this, Danny Gibson, wherever you are. No more Sabre hi-hats. I have a Sabre hi-hat. I have one that's called Sabre. It's a sound. It sounds like it's from Fisher Circle. Is it a thing then, a Sabre hi-hat? Because I have definitely got one that I use quite a lot called a Sabre hi-hat. I'm sure I have. That's really weird that you've said that. But not really that weird, because you've probably got the same Oh, is it? Yeah, everyone. Oh, I didn't know everyone used it. I thought I had it because I was special. Okay. Yeah. Well, this is it. And again, everyone, you can use, like, because a lot of styles of dance music, especially with hard house needs to be 909 drum hits. If you want it to sound authentic, but you can still pitch it up, you can pitch it down, you can use multiply, you can time stretch it, you can phase invert it, you can reverse it, you can chop it up, you can take the formant out, you can add formant, you can do all kinds of things. Bye. That's the end of the show. See ya. Point is, there's lots of things that you can do. Oh, I hope that doesn't set it off now for ages. Let me just go into the sound alerts. I should know by now. But yeah, I really liked it. I love the groove on that. Oh, it's behaving today. Yeah, I really liked it. Well done, Danny. Thank you very much for sending it in. But yeah, more time spent on the percussion and the percussive elements, please. Delay. How about no reverb? On your samples, instead of using reverb all the time, maybe just use the release. On your ADSR sample thingy bob. Instead of using a volume envelope, use a filter envelope. Take off some of the noise, or it shapes it better. Or differently. Not better. Differently. Reverb is my best friend. Some of the samples might have reverb on them as well, though. That's the thing. And sometimes, especially in hard house and other forms of dance music, sometimes having it drying up front is a better idea. Something that we can sometimes do is put too much reverb on everything. Just saying. I'm not saying that was what was happening in Danny's track, though, because that wasn't the case. But I'm just talking in context of percussion, because I really like the percussion on this. It's nice to listen to. Yeah, it's nice to listen to. It makes me remember it in a good way as a DJ. It makes me remember it in a good way. So the next time I looked at that in my playlist, I'll go, I'm going to play that, versus, oh, I'm not sure about that. Yeah, it's well produced, isn't it? Okay, so next up we have got DJ Moi, Don't You Worry, and this is a Bounce Enforcers remix.
Without you You're pretty, yeah, but no, not like diamonds in the sky. I look into your soul, won't like what I can see. But you can make me whole. Piece by piece, you've broken me. Piece by piece, you've broken me. But don't you worry. But don't you worry. But don't you worry. But don't you worry. I'll be okay. So don't you worry. I'll be okay. But don't you worry. I'll be okay. So don't you worry. I'll be okay. Without you. Now look at where we are. Can you see how far we've come? We moved but never left. Guess it's over, yeah, we're done. We said we had it all, but all we had was you. There was never room for us. Piece by piece, you've broken me. And all that's left to do is clean up all the pieces. I clean up after you until my love decreases. Without you. Don't you worry, I'll be okay.
So, what does everyone think of Bouncing Forces? Wayne is in the chat. What does everyone else think of that? That's like the dream, isn't it, really? Yeah, I really liked it as well. Like, the quality of that is fantastic. Yeah, I loved it. See, this is where what we were talking about before, about percussion, kind of not as relevant with bounce. Because the percussion for bounce is more just the place filler. And that's okay. It's all about good sounds, good samples, a good vocal. Sheehan, thank you so much. And I need to say a big thank you as well for subscribing. Thank you for helping to keep the electric on. I know how expensive everything is getting for everyone, and I'm more appreciative than ever. Not that I was not appreciative before, but you know what I'm saying, fam. Thank you. Yeah, this is a really... Oh my goodness, Unreal Gods, thank you also for subscribing. Thank you. I don't know if you know, but you have some like secret things that you can do. Not on this stream, but on my normal DJ one, you can. You just need to put like an exclamation mark. And I wonder if hype works with it. I'll set up the hype one. But basically, usually, there'll be like loads of stuff that you can trigger on the screen, and you can trigger the like the different camera angles and things. And also we do lots of giveaways for vinyl, signed vinyl that I've made, merch, stuff like that. Yeah, Hoya is one of them. It won't work today because I take them all off because I try to have less distractions because I'm trying to listen very intently to your music that you send in. But yeah, on every other day, you have control of the stream as a subscriber. You do anyway if you're just a follower, but you have to pay it in like channel points. But when you're a subscriber, you don't need to use your channel points. You can just do it when you want. But yeah, back to this tune, Wayne. I love it. I really do. And it's nice also that, you know, you do all the silly songs as well. Like Wayne's done, like, what was the one that we listened to last time? What was it? It's very rude, but I loved it. So it's Pension Seekers, yes. I was thinking it's something like an Old Man or something. Pension Seekers. We're gonna have to listen to it now, aren't we? 'Cause I'm mentioning it too much. Not to. We'll just find it. We've got quite a short show today, so we've got a bit of time. So let's just have a quick listen to it. I can't remember exactly what it says, but I'm just gonna warn everyone now. If you've got a child listening, maybe don't let them listen. You know? That might be an idea. There was Tubular Bounce. That was the weekend before the last one. Why don't I just search for it? If you've got Windows, a good search engine is one called Everything. Because Windows Explorer, it's just stupid. It's not very good. Okay, this is Pension Seekers.
Mistress Louise. I am a pervert. I love to be dominated by beautiful women like yourself. My favourite is to pay a woman to pull my nipples hard while I wank myself off. Or for her to grab my balls and squeeze them until I give her more money. I would love to know what you would do to me if I walked into a room naked and you were in there with your friends. Please contact me if I'm worth it. Dear sexy Charmaine, you really turned me on wild, really wild. And you very beautiful sexy body and your gorgeous and sexy big boob and rising nipple. And sexy pussy and beautiful sexy bum and sexy leg. And I fuck you and you fuck me and we fuck all night and we fuck all day and my big rising willy. I am a man who needs a good wanking.
May I have your attention, please?
I am a pervert. Darling Teresa, here are 10 things I would love to do. 1. Sit on the edge of the bath playing with my cock while I watch you sitting on the pan having a shite with your skirt up around your waist and your tights and panties around your ankles. 2. Watch you having dirty sex with Carol Sparley and Carol Vorderman at the same time. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9, 10. Lick your lovely ass crack and suck your gorgeous asshole really, really hard. I am a man who needs a good wanking. I am a pervert.
Spunky Louisa, just squeeze your tits against my body and your cunt. I will squeeze your bum and give it a gentle slap. I am all ready for you. My prick is semi-stiff. You would take him in your mouth and work him big, hard and thick, while I lick your cunt and bumhole, and your big tits and your spunky cunt all the way. Hold on, I'm just about to unload my spunk. I can't hold it in any longer. My spunk is flying all over the place now. I know you love me when I'm dirty and rude. You wouldn't like me otherwise, would you? I am a filthy cunt, aren't I?
I am a man who needs a good wanking. I am a pervert. I am a pervert.
So, you see what I mean? So, welcome, Steve, by the way. For context, we're listening to another track that Wayne did, Bouncing Forces did, and gave it into the demo drop about 3 or 4 weeks ago, versus the one that he gave in today. Now, I think a good lesson from this is when you reach a level of production ability, experience, confidence. It's easier to allow yourself to be this kind of person. Like, I appreciate that, and but I appreciate it done well in this kind of a way. It's a bit like, does anyone know The Lonely Island? Yeah, professional and playful, not taking oneself too seriously, but taking oneself sincerely. Yeah. And The Lonely Island comes to mind when I think about this, because with The Lonely Island, their production quality is just off the scale, but the songs are very parody-esque, very Flight of the Conchords. But done in a high-end style. And I think there's something really unique about that. There's something very alluring to me about that. Because if this was done wrong, like in a less skillful way, I'd probably find it funny, but I wouldn't want to, I'm on a motherfucking boat. My favourite one is the I threw it on the ground. Oh, are we going to get through the rest of this show? Can I show you? Yeah, I can show you it. God, if we can hear that, of course I can show you Threw It on the Ground. I'll show it you quickly because it is relevant. And as artists, this is important because it will show you a way out of creative limitation to just try these kinds of things. Like for me, I find doing parody stuff and doing comedy things so much more easier. They're much easier for me than it is to finish a techno track or finish a trance tune or a hard trance tune. I very, very rarely ever get to that stage, but with my comedy stuff, never have a problem with it. So Threw It on the Ground. So it's important to just check out stuff like this. Oh my God, it's just amazing. Like these are people who are really, really well versed in their craft. That they are top of their game, but they're just doing it in the best ways, and it's a collaboration. So the least you take from this is the beauty and the importance of collaborating with other people outside of your expertise or your interests, and working out how they work creatively, and how they get their creative ideas to come to fruition. So how am I going to do this? I'm going to put just do my display.
I was walking through the city streets, and a man walks up to me and hands me the latest energy drink. Run faster, jump higher. Man, I'm not gonna let you poison me. I threw it on the ground. You must think I'm a joke. I ain't gonna be part of your system. Man, pump that garbage in another man's veins. I go to my favorite hot dog stand, and the dude says, you come here all the time. Here's one for free. I said, man, what I look like? A charity case? I took it and threw it on the ground. I don't need your handouts. I'm an adult. Please, you can't buy me hot dog, man. The farmer's market with my so-called girlfriend. She hands me her cell phone, says it's my dad. Man, this ain't my dad. This is a cell phone. I threw it on the ground. What, you think I'm stupid? I'm not a part of your system. My dad's not a phone. Duh. Some poser hands me cake at a birthday party. What you want me to do with this? Eat it? Happy birthday to the ground. I threw the rest of the cake too. Welcome to the real world, jackass. So many things to throw on the ground. Like this and this and that and even this. I'm an adult. Two Hollywood phonies tried to give me their autograph. Nobody wants your autograph, phonies. Then the two phonies got up. Turned out they had a taser, and they tased me in the butthole. I fell to the ground. The phonies didn't let up. Tasing on my butthole over and over. I was screaming and squirming. My butthole was on fire. The moral of this story is you can't trust the system. Man!
What's everyone's thoughts on that? It's amazing, isn't it? Happy birthday to the ground. Yeah, I've seen all of them, Malin. Yeah. I have watched all of them many times over. It's just amazing. I geek out. But this is an important part of creativity in general. Even if it's not something that you'd want to do, watching stuff like that can just put you in a completely different headspace. And like that kind of stuff, it would have just started with a silly idea. The Bin Laden, oh my God. Yeah, like the Bin Laden one is very, very good. Yeah. But you see what I'm saying there about taking an idea and doing it well. These are people like they're actors who've been around for a very long time, a lot of them, and I guess in a way, like what I get from that is I see that they're making themselves relevant again by doing something with their time while they're not doing a film or whatever, doing something different, but then it's got undertones of comedy is the way through anything, isn't it? But there are some undertones to that. There are some undertones to social media, to paranoia in this case of this one, where he's like, I don't want to be a part of your system. There's, and I feel I get that from, there's quite a few comedians that give that to me as well, such as Tom Green as well, and Freddie Got Fingered. Freddie Got Fingered is my favourite film in the whole world. And I know it's a different creative outlet, but it still comes back to, I still can find themes that run with me and like encourage me and inspire me in my music from other creative outlets. Now, there's another thing that might be interesting for you guys. If you struggle like me to stick to an idea when you're in the studio, there's something that I'm doing at uni. For those who don't know, I'm in my third year at university. I've just graduated. Well, I'm graduating in 2 weeks' time from my FDA degree in music production, which I got a first in. At first with honours. I got a really, really high mark from it. And I'm now back doing my higher degree So I get to wear my funny hat in 2 weeks' time. Thank you very much. But this year that I'm doing now, before I go on to do my masters, I'll probably have a year out next year and then do my masters after that. Once I've had a little bit of time, not having to do assignments and modules and stuff. But I love learning. I absolutely love learning. I learn something new nearly every single day, if not every day, in some way, shape or form. I forgot what I was going to say now. Oh, I've remembered. One of the modules that we're doing at the moment is collaborating with someone from another creative outlet. So I've decided to do one with an artist who is Lady Paints a Lot. She's one of my moderators on here as well. We've done a dual stream before where I've played like a trance set and she's made a lovely piece of art from that live stream. And we're doing something kind of similar this time. However, on this one, I wanted to incorporate AI art. I don't know if any of you were aware of a platform called Midjourney. Hi, Global Awakening Records. And what I find, because going back to like feeling focused and keeping to an idea or sticking to an idea and translating your idea that you have for a track into something and expressing it in a way that gets translated without too much data fallout to the listener, to keep that idea kind of solid and focused in and harnessed in. I find that looking at some AI art has been really helpful. So I'll give you the link for it. This is just one of many. So it's called midjourney.com. They have a Discord as well in which you can just use the AI bot to create anything. You just give it some buzzwords. If you have an idea for a track that you want to do and it's got a certain theme to it and you can think of maybe some synonyms that go with it. Is it synonyms? Yeah, synonyms. So words that mean the same thing, go through quite a lot of them and then ask the AI to make you some artwork. You could even use it for the artwork for the release. But at the very least, what it will give you is something to refer back to. Because usually there's something that we refer back to as a reference track in the project. And that's not our track, it's someone else's. And then a lot of the time we end up going, no, but mine doesn't sound like that. Yeah, well, she hadn't until... This is why I love learning. This is why I love being exposed to different methods of creativity. And I'm sure there's a lot of you in here who, like me, can be very debilitated by blocks, by your own negative worries that you're not good enough, procrastination, in many, it takes shape in many forms. If you are a procrastinator, procrastinate productively. So for me, procrastinating productively is working with others, trying different tech, trying out different things, reading books. I try not to stay stagnant. Even if I'm not doing the work, I'm always doing the work in other ways. Even when it's, coming back to cleaning all my old vinyl with my ultrasonic cleaner, going through tracks that shaped me as a DJ and gave me certain feelings at different points in my life, and the memories attached to these songs. Every day I'm putting myself in that headspace. I'm taking myself out of this sometimes cruel and shitty world and putting myself in another world, in a world where there's endless possibilities, where there's no limitations. But then there can be some limitations, and that can be good as well. I procrastinate watching YouTube most of the time, says Rennie. I do too, but do you know what I do? I will watch TED Talks, I will watch Linus Tech Tips, I will watch people doing circuit bending, I will watch people using Eurorack modular synths, I will watch masterers, I will watch rock masterers, I will watch people that are good at composing stuff, I will watch there's so many in genres of music that I would probably never even think about looking at. Film scores. Do you know there is what is it now? I'm going to have to find hang on. I wrote it down. I need to find it now, because if I don't find... No, not Brazzers. Hang on. Okay, so it's called QDB, which is something that you go onto it. QDB. Cloud-based companion for film, TV, blah, blah, blah. And what it will let you do, it will let you write music to pieces of animation that have already been made up. So you can begin to understand how to create moments, how to create tension, how to create loving moments, whatever it is that's coming across on the visual. It will teach you to be able to sketch and map out expression. I'll have a look at it, Rennie. I haven't listened to it yet. The Danish National Symphony Orchestra YouTubes. No, I had to listen to the album that you sent over. That was really cool. But yeah, that QDB, fantastic. But going back to the AI, the Mid-Journey, did I give you the link for that? I really, really think it would be helpful for some of you to have a picture there, and that picture will be able to keep you focused in when you're making a tune. Otherwise we just end up making something that sounds bleh. It's got no identity. Sometimes the name of a track won't happen until right at the end, you know. So having something there. I think one of the easiest tracks I ever made that was very much from the heart was when I was just thinking about Guy. And it was, I've not finished it because I never do finish, but it's like 90% finished. But I have this problem of finishing things and saying it's done, which I am working on. But it was the easiest piece, and also probably one of the deepest kind of pieces of music that I ever wrote. And that was because I purposely set that goal in my head that I was going to keep my feeling of him in my mind, in my memory, as I wrote it. And then it was easy. It just came. It just happened. It wasn't me thinking, oh, I need to check the mix down on the bus group for the percussion there, and is that's peaking, and maybe I should change the compression on that second fucking loop or what. Like, it was just easy, and then I realised near towards the end I didn't even need to do that much more to it. It was done because I didn't overthink it. Yeah, that album, Rennie. But yeah, but I hope that little interlude there is helpful. I'm sorry for everyone else who's got a tune here. They're like, oh my God, shut up. So Alistair Brenton's next. Wanna Go Back. This is the name of this one. It's quite long, this one, so we're going to skip through it a little bit. It's nearly 10 minutes long. go, guys. That is Alistair Brenton. Want to go back. I really, really like this. Really, really like it. I would, if this was mine, I would be going for a more tech trance feel with this. Or it would get released nearly how it is, but then it would have maybe 3 other remixes of it. Or at least one other as an EP. That's how it feels to me. Yeah, I love the pads as well. Leave the pads alone. What I would do is you have a little... Let's have a look where it is. You've got like a little bum 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 bum. I can't do it that low. Dun 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 dun. Like on that note. Dun dun dun. I can't get it right because I can't sing. I don't know if you knew this about me, but I can't sing. That needs to come out more, so it needs to have like a definitive bass line. But the bass line I'm hearing is dun 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 dun, like you would have in tech house, in tech trance. Yeah, the ARP bass. That you want to layer the fuck out of that. Excuse my language, Jay. Don't listen to me. Just to give it more movement and more drive. Because at the moment, all of your elements are really good. But there isn't enough energy yet. You need to create a bit more energy in it. That's the only thing that is really sticking out to me. And I would also change that kick. But you might not actually ignore that, because you might find that when you put in, if you did put in the more defined bass line, then that will tie the kick in to this track. Because right now that kick stands out against the rest of the track, but it would be fixable if you just layered that art bass and made it stand out more, which is really simple. It's nearly there. Yeah, well, if you were deliberately going for and you say that. Ugh. And Joanna, it is I can't remember. Esque floaty feel. Well, if that's what you're going for, then you've achieved it. And Joanna, thank you. And Juna. See, this is where dyslexia lets me down, or makes things funny. But yeah, keep this version then. And then maybe copy the project and then do a remix out of that project by changing a few things. Really go in and make some space and bring that bass line out. That's what I would do. And Juna. Is it really? That doesn't sound right to me. But I never really say the words. I obviously just see them on trance releases, but I never say it out loud. Anjuna. Is it really? See, I've always thought it was Anjuana, but I've never really said it out loud. So, Anjuna. Oh dear. Fine. I'm also thinking about using my DJ McDJ face branding as an alias for some harder, heavier stuff. Yeah, cool, do it. It's always a weird one, that, isn't it? Like, do we change our name for different styles of music that we're making, or do we keep the same one? Pros and cons. But yeah, I liked it. Really liked it. I'm just reading up. Mad Wax and Pulsar says, if you don't mind me asking, why is one of your turntables off your deck? You mean the one down there? Okay, I better take it off that record, actually. Hang on. It's because this is the setup I have for when I am cleaning my vinyl at the moment. So here is that there. That's the ultrasonic cleaner. So I've been using that all day. And then I listen to the tracks that I've just cleaned on that one down there, and then I have to put, those are all clean ones there, and then there's the sleeves next to them, and then I have to put them back in the right sleeves again, and then file them in the correct place where they need to go. And that's what I do when I'm not streaming and not doing my uni work. Hello there, John. How are you doing? How was your stream? Thanks for raiding us. Thank you. How did it go? Did you have lots of fun? And welcome, raiders. We're doing the demo drop today. Hi, Timber. You're welcome, Jay. Hi, Debs. Hi, John. Been using my UC today. The noise is annoying. I know, it really is, isn't it? It really is. It sets off my tinnitus as well. But it's so worth it. It's so worth it. R&B garage bassline. Now you sugar tits. Well, welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. We're doing the demo drop today where we listen to your music. If you are an aspiring producer, send your demos in to my email address. And if it gets accepted in, we will listen to your music. So we just listened to DJ McDJ Face's track, Alistair Brenton. But yeah, I really, really liked it, mate. And please keep it up and keep sending stuff in. Thank you. So next up we have got Mark Ross, Embers of the Pied Piper. This one's called... Mark Ross, Embers of the Pied Piper, number 1. What a cool name. I'm going to remember that. Number 2, great percussion. It was great, wasn't it? And I think someone said about that could be in a film. Definitely film score material. Without a doubt. Captain Strange, thank you very much for following. Wee Man as well, thank you for following. Kashi earlier, and of course John C again. Guys, please get following John C if you haven't already, because he's really, really good. He's really cool, and I love his streams when I get to catch them. And he's very supportive as well. All round bodacious babe. So, nothing really to add, like, in terms of any constructive advice or anything like that, because Mark definitely knows what he's doing. He knows his way around a door. Digital audio workstation. Oh no, well, original JC, you're here now, and that's all that matters. Feel the groove. I can feel the groove, feel the groove, feel the groove. It's going to be the law now that every time I see your name pop up, I've got to do that. I hope I'm the only one that does that. It reminds me of the stream where I played it. Did I play it before? I had a feeling that I might have done, but... Oh, I didn't. I thought I might have done, but sometimes I have false memories, so I wasn't sure. The old record. Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, definitely DJ McDJ Face. The other thing I was going to mention to you guys is, do you know about sync music? Has anyone ever come across sync music at all? Does anyone know what it is? I'm going to give you a few websites in a minute. I want you to go and bit of homework for you all. Just stuff that might float your boat. Yeah, with Final Fantasy, I'm hoping that I might be able to do a little bit of it later on tonight before I go to bed. So sync music is basically audio pools of music for films, for adverts, for anything really. Netflix, sports channels, Amazon Prime. A friend of mine who I've done tracks with in the past, he was under the name Clevra or Digital Kid. He now does music for Keeping Up with the Kardashians. So, you know, he gets like billions of listens to his music. And that's through sync music opportunities. So basically it is your music, whatever it is that they're after, like an advertising company, marketing company are after, or a film could be after something for a film score. You pitch your music, and if it gets selected, sometimes there's a budget, sometimes there's not, but if you can get a name for yourself and doing that kind of thing, then you have yourself a pretty passive income. And you know, if you want to make a career out of music, it can't just be the stuff that we love to do. It can't just be the stuff that we go, oh, well, you know, I just want to be a well-known tech house producer and travel the world, making music and DJing and stuff. Like, it doesn't work like that. It really doesn't work like that. It won't work like that. You have to come at this from different angles. You've got to find different ways to monetize you as an artist. And sync music is definitely one of the ways to do that. So I'm going to give you some of the links now in the chat. These are all different sync companies. Some of them are based in America, some of them are based in the UK. Get yourself set up. Just go and see what it's all about. Go and see what it's all about. This is all stuff that I'm learning at university at the moment. This is all stuff that I didn't know about before starting at university. And, you know, I go to university so you don't have to. So, you know, you're welcome. But honestly, these are ways in. These are ways in. You might not get in the way that you think that you envisage you're going to get in. Okay? And that's where I want you to find this show useful. Because the end game is not just to send in your tracks in here week in, week out and go, let's go, yeah, it's really good. When you get a yeah, that's really good from this show, you should actively be looking to do other things with that. If you're still getting like us saying, well, this could be better and stuff, then see us as the buffer between that and this. Because I'd rather you put your best foot forward. Hi, Jack Slater. I'd rather you put your best foot forward and get some good constructive feedback first. And then make amendments and then go out into the big wide world of the music industry. And it isn't just the label that you like, the bestest. That's not the music industry. Far from it. But we can get so blinkered as humans. We really can. Thank you, Sheehan. Thank you. It means a lot to me to see you lot thrive. When you thrive, I thrive, because it gives me the inspiration and the drive to continue. I got told, someone tried to tell me actually a few weeks ago. They said, well, you don't do anything for nothing. Like, and if you do think that, then you're lying to yourself. I'm like, no, not for me. I said, that might be the case for you, but I get a lot out of seeing people achieve. I feel like it's a part of my own achievement. I don't see an us and them. I don't feel fragmented from the world. I don't feel me in my body is any different from you. Especially when we have things in common and we have the same interests like music. You're supposed to thrive? Yeah, you are. You are. You really are. So it's funny. It's not funny. It's interesting to me when people can't understand why someone will want to help someone without receiving anything back, because that in itself isn't true. But I do receive something back, or we do receive things back when we help others. We receive that feeling, you know, that smile, that inner glow. And that's, you could argue that that's inherently selfish as well, but being selfish is not a bad thing either. So if that is selfish, then that's fine with me. Thank you, Dirty Julie. I hope I've said your name right. And I want it to be powerful and empowering. I really do. I really do. Especially the way that the world is right now. I roll in and out of Facebook and see daily the divide that's happening. A massive a role model for me massive one is Lady Gaga. I really, really resonate with her massively. And I do see a lot of divide happening on platforms like Facebook, and we don't have that here. We don't have that here. I did say it correctly, yay. But yeah, so the stuff that I'm learning at uni, anything that I think would be of use for you guys, I will just tell you straight away. So yeah. The sync music thing, it's at least going to allow you to get a few bits of music that you may have not even thought about trying to make. Because you could get anything for... Do you know there are people out there who've made 20 grand from 7 seconds of music that they made for an advert? There's grant money out there. This is another thing we're learning at the moment. There's grant money that the grants... The companies, or not the companies, but the charities that have this grant money for creative, artistic, social helping in your local area. Like, they need to give you that money. They need to give you that grant money. Otherwise they lose the grant amount that they get given by the National Lottery or by Musicians Union, through different places, lots of different places. BK, did you start making music for TV adverts? I'm not allowed to tell you. I've been told off. Well, not been told off, but I've been told... I haven't been told by him not to say anything, because that would infer that he had made music for TV adverts. I'm sorry, Ben. I had a rumour he might have done some music for TV. I don't think it was an advert though, but it was for something else. I don't think it was that, but this is the point. The point is, I know someone who got paid £20,000 for 7 seconds of music. Yeah, it might have been a mixed mag. I think, it might have been something like that. But I do know he said that he didn't want me to tell anyone about those things. I'm just trying to think what it was now, but then I'm thinking it's probably better that I can't remember what it was, because then I'll say it. But yeah, I can't remember. No, it's fine. It's fine. Oh, what was it? I can't even. It wasn't an advert. It was a theme tune for something. Yeah, if I can't remember it, I can't blurt it out exactly. But I'm trying to remember it, and then I'm thinking, well, why are you trying to remember it? Yeah, let's move on. When I remember it, I'll just go, oh yeah, that, and then I'll go, I'm not telling you. But yeah, sync music. Go and have a look what it's all about. And also making your own sample packs as well. That's something that we've been taught about doing. If at the very least, it's just going to teach you more about music production and quality levels. Do you know what else would be a good thing to do, even if you didn't want to release it? Maybe you could just give it out to people for free. Is start making a few sound banks. So get one of your favourite synths. Start it from initiate, preset, init. Or I'll let you into a little trade secret here. A lot of the sound packs that you buy from artists, a lot of the time what they'll do is they'll get their favourite sound bank presets and then they'll tweak them. So you could do it that way if you want. Or you can make your own from scratch and begin to learn about synthesis on a bit of a deeper level. That's always another good way to skill up and level up with your music production. Another way to do it is to reverse engineer your favourite sound banks, favourite presets on a synth. And what I mean by that is load up your favourite sound bank, choose a preset, and then reverse engineer. So get it back down, take all the effects off, take all the voices off, take any of the octave changes off, and get it back to a very basic waveform. And then you'll know how to make that sound because you've reversed engineered it. If you can hear the ice creaking, stop walking on it. I'll remember that. I still can't think what it was that he did. Play your favourite tracks and try to replicate the sounds used. Yeah, that is a great piece of advice. Another one is, if you have a favourite artist, find out who their favourite artists were. So you're not directly copying them. Next up, we have got John H. And this is, will you keep on loving me if I keep dancing? Here we go. There we go. That is John Holland, aka Buzzmo-tastic, in the chat. I listened to this earlier anyway. I had to go for a wee because I've been drinking beer. This is the second one that you sent me through. The one before, the main thing I could note that it was a lot quieter. So I take it this is a limited version. I think you've slightly overdone the limiting. That's the only criticism I've got. Is it sounded like it was clipping. You double compressed it. Why did you do that? Tell me why. Did you double compress the whole track? In error. Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, you'd have learned something from that. But yeah, I just noted that it was. Can you hear the graininess on the top end? I compress the drums and the bass bus and then compress the whole track. Why did you compress the whole track? To make it louder. Compression doesn't make things louder though. You wanted a radio vibe. Okay, cool. If that is if that's the vibe you're going for, then fine. Makeup gaiters. If that is the vibe you're going for, fine. However, it sounds overdone. It sounds overcooked. So there is nothing wrong with getting someone else to do our mastering for us, because mastering is so hard. It's so hard. If you think about years ago, we had someone that would do the songwriting of a track, someone would do composition, arrangement, a singer, songwriter, mixing engineer, mix down engineer, and then you'd have a masterer. And now, in this day and age, we have to be all of those things. By the way, I love the vocals. Really love the vocals. And I saw that you said that was you. Honestly, really, really good effort. Really good effort. But try and take the responsibility for mastering out of your own hands. Yeah. Let someone else do the mastering. Definitely. Because do you know what? It really helps us to draw a line under it and stop going back to it and changing it again and again and again. Especially when you've paid someone to master it. It finalises it. Yeah. I honestly think that will be good. You never go back to it. I want you to go back to this. I want you to go back to the version where you hadn't double compressed it, as you say. And I also want you to go and look into the differences between compression and limiting. And expansion as well. Because you said there you wanted to make it louder, but compression makes things quieter. What it does do is it makes the quieter bits louder. So all you're doing is taking the dynamic range out of your track. And then by using the gain, you've then boosted the signal. Cool. Hi, Kelly. Yeah, it's honestly, it is a great part of, great's the wrong word. It's a part of learning. It was a test. Did we pass? It's what all of us go through. I have 3 people who I know are really good producers in my mind right now. And I won't say who they are, but 3 of them right now that I can think of that have sent me tracks that were clipping. So, you know, it happens. Even Guy's done it. So what do you feel that you've learnt from this experience then, John? Because you will always learn something from it. But yeah, the one thing that I would get from this when like I've listened back to stuff is like, well, number one, we need to listen on, well, don't worry about working on the mastering process. Don't worry about that, because you could spend another 10 years on that. And I'm not even joking. You even will need a lot of money to get the right tools for the job if you wanted to really understand mastering. You can learn how to do it yourself if you want. I mean, Guy does his own mastering. I don't. I'll get someone else to do it, because it helps me to. But I've released stuff that hasn't even been mastered, and it's been perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Yeah, there's plenty of people out there who will do that for you. But yeah, you could take that worry or that stress or, you know, that extra layer of learning away from yourself. But I think you're trying to run before you can walk with this, because you want to really go back and look at what is compression, what is limiting. Yeah, if you're not enjoying it, then find someone that does enjoy it, honestly. But really, really good track. Really good track. See you later, Dr. Game Doom. Love you. Next up, we have got Philip Linley. And this is called Does He Look Like a Bitch? Sorry, that was me skipping through them.
Does he look like a bitch? I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger. Does he look like a bitch? Does he look like a bitch?
Okay, we need to talk. We need to talk now. That's DJ Finninley in the chat there. Give you a shout out as well. Guys, get following Finninley, please. You've been sat on this for 15 years, or have you released it? Hi, Drew Cleed. Dr. Drew Cleed. You never did anything with it. That needs to be released immediately. It's perfect. It's perfect. It's, yeah, as Rennie said, can you just tell us why? Exactly, Drew Clue. It doesn't matter, does it? It does not matter. It literally doesn't matter at all. I'm just going to say a big thank you to Mindflux Official. Thank you for following. Fubar, Felto, Jack Slater, and everyone else as well. No idea. I have an idea. And again, this is a big reason why I'd like to do this show, is to reaffirm what I think you lot already know. There's a lot of you in the chat now who have sent your music in, and we always say, this is really good. And you're always surprised by that. Well, a lot of you are surprised by that. Of course I like it, Drew Clue. I love your shizzle. I was having lessons from Greg Brookman. Oh, wow. Do you know what? I was going to say it's got that London, UK hard house sound. I call it hard house trance. So it reminds me of Edison Factor, James Lawson, Greg Brookman, all that kind of stuff. Everything in that track sat correctly. You lost your mojo. Well, you need to get that mojo back. I know you want to. That's why you gave in the track. I have nothing to add in terms of like feedback for technical stuff. That's ready to be released. Yeah. Oh, okay. So you've taken a break from the scene then. That makes sense. I get you. Get you. Can I just, I'm not going to rant. I know I've had 2 beers now, but I promise I'll be good. Can I just say one thing to all of the male and female? It isn't just a male thing, but can people stop putting their music career on hold for other people, please? Can people stop other people from influencing them to the point where they sell their record collection and they have to take all their studio equipment out of the room because somebody needs a new dressing table or something? Can we stop doing that? Please. 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 It's really important because the reason why people get with you is because a lot of it is because you're a creative person. And the problem is sometimes when they're not as creative or they're not as into music or one of the arts, they can begin to chip away at you spending time in the studio or on the decks. They get annoyed at you doing it because you're not doing stuff with them or the family, and they're missing the point. And the point is that this is your expression. This is your ability to be you. And if you take that away, they have lost the person that they originally fell in love with anyway. Yeah. And real gods, yeah, I appreciate that comment with my partner. I look for support in shows or producing. I feel really lucky my partner does that for me. Good. And do you know what? That shouldn't be a plus that your partner is okay with you doing music stuff, okay? That isn't a added bonus, okay? If they're not willing, whoever it is, whoever the person is, you need your boundaries. It's really important because it won't last forever. Eventually you will either break up and then you will go, oh my God, I've had this track for 15 years and I did nothing with it. Finally. But you're here now. I'm only able to do it now because I'm a widower. I didn't do a thing for 20 years. Now my girlfriend knows I do this. I knew it. I knew it before you even said a word, Finley. It is like, I'm a people person. I get it. I understand. I really do. And if you're one of those people that does low-key resent your partner for spending time away from you on their computer, in their studio, on their decks, please just let them do it, because you will end up driving their resentment. So important. It really is. Jew says, I am quite lucky my whole family is all about music, well, apart from the mother. It can be a generational thing, can't it? But I do understand. I do understand it's tricky. But I know that love will always find a way. And if you're meant to be with the person that you're with, then you will find a compromise. You will, set some time each week that you're allowed to go and be creative, and make sure when you're with your family that you are 100% with them. And then they will begin to passively understand that when you are doing your music, then they get the real you back when you're spending time with them. It's really important. Brett says, I just DJ as a hobby for my own personal amusement, but my wife is fully encouraging of me doing it, even though it means I ignore her for several hours a week. Yeah. A lot of it is just boredom, okay? So if the other person doesn't have any hobby outside of watching TV, Facebook, drinking on a weekend with the mates, whatever, the mind plays tricks. The mind wants to think. Your brain just wants to solve stuff, right? That's what it does. And if you leave your brain unattended, it's going to make problems. It's going to find problems in things where there are no problems anyway. And that's all down to you not using your focus properly. Mixing and streaming is fun, but don't forget to play your own stuff too. Yeah. Yeah, streaming, DJ, whatever it is. Whatever it is. But if they really love you, they will understand. I know far too many of my male acquaintances, when the partner starts acting up when they spend time in front of their computer. Funnily enough, most of them end up single because it's a problem when your partner starts controlling your time/hobby like that. Yeah. And it's only a reflection on the, well, it can be two things. It can be avoidance of wanting to be around that person by going on the computer all the time. But that can be because the other person's forcing them to come away from it. So naturally we go like, fuck you. It doesn't make for a healthy relationship. And it certainly doesn't make for a healthy creative environment. I still have, I'm not going to say it's PTSD anymore because it's not, but it used to be. But I worked on it. I still have the residue of a partner, not my ex-husband, but someone I went out with after me and my husband split up. Whenever I hear someone coming down the stairs, and it's only Guy, it's only ever Guy, but whenever I hear Guy coming down the stairs, like to open the front door or get something from the kitchen, I can still hear the vibrations through my soundproof studio. And still a part of me now goes, shit, I'm in trouble. And I freeze up, like I physically freeze up. And then I have to remind myself, it's just Guy, it's fine. Like that is from being with someone who would come into my studio and be, oh babe, you're not coming to bed? And I'm like, no, I'm doing a track, or I'm with my friends and we're on the decks. And this person wouldn't understand that. And like there's still residual that around me now, but your relationship should be easy. It should be a partnership. It shouldn't be a struggle. And if it is a struggle, it is a shitty feeling. It's the worst feeling. Honestly, I can't tell you how horrible it is. It's like the mental threat is the worst ever. The threat of, and then, but to know that it's nothing. It's nothing. It's just a memory. It's just an echo. You know, but it's still there. I had to do a lot of work on myself too. The amount of questioning one has to do to allow yourself to pursue this as a job, as a career choice, especially when you have kids as well. But not only when you have kids, you could have this when you don't have kids as well. But the amount of self hatred in some ways that I've had personally through being selfish enough to want to pursue this. You know, for many, many years it wasn't fruitful, like in a financial way. But I knew it would work. But I needed the people around me to be on board. I needed them to be on board. But they weren't always on board. They criticised my life choices. They criticised my ability. They judged me. They disbelieved that I could do it. And thankfully, I turned that into and harnessed that into energy to do the opposite. And I made sure that I showed them I could do that. Yeah, I was made to feel extremely guilty. Extremely. Why can't you just get a normal job? Why can't you just be normal? You're welcome. You're welcome. We will always talk about these things. Define normal job. We always end up being quite deep, especially on my gaming channel as well, which you might find me on in a bit. But it's something that needs to be said. And there are ways to do it and there's ways not to do it. I don't want you to end up, doing it the long way like I did. But everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. Even if you are doing a 9 to 5, right? It's not what you do, it's the way that you do it. And if you have to do a job right now that you don't like doing, just remind yourself that it is temporary. And spend your weekend building the life that you want to have in the future. Spend your weekend, spend your evenings learning, being here, being in other places, networking, trying different things, watching YouTube, watching TED Talks, self-development. Stay away from things like Facebook all the time. Stay away from the news. Stay away from people that aren't on that journey. Be around people who are. Nurture your environment. And you will be successful. I promise you, you'll be successful. No worries, Basmotastic. Just do what makes you happy. You are not here for a long time. Please spend it doing the things that you want to do. If you want to spend 2 days working on FM synthesis, only to find at the end of it you might as well have used a preset by Omet Ozkan. Do it. You'll learn something. Right, next up we've got Cosmic Butterfly versus, I hope I say this right, Cerulean, and this is called Ocean Breeze. okay, because Cosmic Butterfly versus Cerulean Ocean Breeze. That track is 8 minutes and 15 seconds long, and it didn't feel like it. I know I skipped a tiny bit at the beginning, but it wasn't much. So when a track makes me feel like that, it's a good thing. It's very progressive anyway. It has a great mood to it. It also is uplifting. It was almost like a live jam track. Yeah. One of my other mentors, Satek, he does a lot of live jamming. And what he does is he'll take a section from the live jam and release that as his track. How cool's that? You don't get more original than that, do you? But yeah, Cosmic Butterfly is in the chat as well, guys. Please, please give him a follow. Again, as always, I love your music. There is nothing I would change about this if I was doing it, or like, I loved it. Yeah, it was so nice to listen to. Like I said, it didn't seem to take 8 minutes of listening, which meant I got lost in it. Even though I'm checking the chat, replying to messages in the chat, I still felt like that part of my brain had gone with this. It was gone with this track. It was in the place with it. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed that. Please get following. There's the link. It's not boring. Exactly. And this is the kind of stuff that you don't know, do you? There could be someone somewhere that needs this kind of music for an advert, for some kind of marketing thing, and they've got a big budget. So it's about learning where to find these opportunities when you're ready. Marcus Schultz vibe. You got it, babe. You got it. More of the same. Oh, it was made with your brother. We made this track in thoughts of how being at the ocean near our hometown made us feel while we still lived there. How wonderful! They got a big budget and a small PVC tube. Hi, Nikita. Yeah. I loved that. I loved the fact that, number one, you did this with your brother. If I try making a track with one of my brothers, I was like, stop it. No, that's wrong. Oh, I bet you miss it. I can imagine. But number one, I love the fact that you're doing that with your brother. And number two, the fact that you had that focal point of being near the ocean, and that was your muse for this track. Amazing. Amazing. Great work. Okay, and next up we've got Mr. again. Now, I don't want to preempt this, but it's probably one of my favourite tracks that I've heard from you, Mr. if you're still in the chat. So, yeah, you're welcome, mate. You are so welcome. Thank you for sending it in. I get so inspired by you guys. By the way, I have to write... God, one of my upcoming assignments is I have to write between 28 and 35 minutes of music. So I have to write an album before May next year. And I know that seems attainable, but no. I wonder if they'll take my idea for the Donks of Praise as my album. Oh, I might check. I don't know if they will though. I don't know if that would be a good idea. I think I'll just have to do that on the side. I'll have to do something like more sensible. Isn't it a Kevin moment? So here we go. This is Mr. Mister. Just make a lot of dopamine responses by stressing yourself. I know, right? I am getting better at that, I promise. Okay, so this is Under the Influence. Here we go.
Under the influence of drugs, we can do anything. Be anyone and dance like we never danced before. We can do anything. Be anyone and dance like you never danced before.
Again, you know what we were saying about earlier about spending time on the percussion? Ta-da! It makes a big difference to me. I get sent a lot of music. And as well as the kick and the bass being really important, I need things that stick out to me. I think this comes from my ability to beat match doesn't just come from listening to a kick drum or a hi-hat to beat match. I also listen to the different percussive elements because it helps me to differentiate, can't ever say that word, between deck A and deck B. So I'm always listening for percussion. So I think that's probably why, and I'm only just realising this now as I say it, I think this is probably why I really look for interesting percussion in tracks, because if I have other things to latch onto as well as the kick and the hi-hat, that also allows me to really fine tune in my beat matching. So that's probably why it's really important to me, or it helps a lot. Yeah, how long did it take for you to make it? That's a very good question. And I really wish, differentiate, thank you. See, if I can see it written down, I can say it. Ta-da! Yeah, it helps, doesn't it? Do you know what I was going to say, Mister? I was going to say, it's a shame that Bosky isn't in, because Bosky would love this. Bosky would be all over this. Yeah. Isn't it, Jew? Seriously. I hope that you send this to him. You made it a month ago. Wow. Well, you know, you spent enough time on it, and you've made a really, really good track there. Let me just share your SoundCloud. Yeah, I really like it. So much energy, a lot going on, but it all made musical sense. I like the use of the little one shots. I've got hiccups now. And I love the percussion as well. I love the question and answer feel of it, and I love the vocal as well. I really did. I think it all suited the vibe. Really suited the vibe. Cool. Organised mayhem, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I really, really liked it. For that style of hard house, like, I know that it's not going to be everyone's subjective cup of tea, but learning to separate preference from a good track is really important. Hard house, I've wanted to pew. It's hard house. And it is... My personal thing with this track, and it shouldn't be seen as a diss, is that I have problems filtering sound. Yeah, so all sounds get picked up by my brain as one big jumble. Yeah, and that will happen. Yeah, it will be audible sensory overload. Yeah, I understand that. More core than house. No, it's hard house. It's definitely hard house. Definitely. If you wanted to give it a genre, but again, genres are very subjective. It depends on your own understanding of music and your own personal preferences on what you would call it. Years ago, this would have been just called techno music. Yeah, you are you, darling. Exactly. But if it was going to be, but it is hard house. It is hard house. From a hard house DJ, this is hard house. Yeah. Yep. Hard house energy. Yeah. It is that subgenre of hard house. Absolutely. Through and through, it couldn't be more perfect for that genre. Yeah, Drop Bear would be good for it as well. Yeah, exactly. But yeah. And do you know the really cool thing is lately there's been a lot of artists dropping hard house in psytrance sets, and is it a DJ called DJ Otter? I think her name is. She did a Boiler Room recently, and she was playing some Dave Owens tracks along with some what's his name? Ganez the Terrible, who's like a Schranz producer. Ganez the Terrible, yeah. And other psytrance stuff. So, like, what this shows us now is that people are not so concerned about the genre. It's just energy at the end of the day. And I'm so happy to see that people are finally catching up to that. I've always played different genres of music. And I used to get very judged for doing that. People did not understand why would you play hard style and hard house and trance and house. Like, and now it's definitely something that people understand a lot more. And as a creative, you should always listen to lots of different types of music. But this is a good tune. It's a really good tune. Whose style's an unknown? I think that's quite ironic that I don't know who they are. But yeah, it's nice to see that people are coming away from the oh, okay, cool, hardcore DJs. I don't think they would personally, because it's not hardcore, but they might do. But I would say this, yeah, I don't think that they would. This is definitely a filth, energy, hard house track. Do you know why they wouldn't in a set? Do you know why they wouldn't? Because the structure of the song's different to hardcore. So mixing it would be the arrangement's completely different. In modern day hardcore, you're talking 16 bars, maybe 32 bars before the drop. That's the standard in it, and that's not how we mix when we're mixing hard house. We always mix from around about 2.5, at least 2.5 minutes or 3 minutes in. So, yeah, filth is you're doing filth really well. You really are. So yeah, amazing. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for another very, very successful and very deep conversations at points. We're going to go over and see DJ Mixie now. Where is he? There he is. So stay where you are. We're going to go over and see Mixie. Yeah, thank you all as well. I really appreciate each and every one of you for all of your input as well. Remember that we may not always agree on things, and that is okay. That's what we're here for, because if we can't be around people that we disagree with on some stuff, then we don't really know what we think. And it's always important that it's okay that we all have different opinions, and that's life. And it's always a safe space here anyway for all of that. So thank you. And I will see you again next week for the demo drop. It's my day off tomorrow. Well, I say day off. I have a whole day of university tomorrow. So, of course you are. I've wanted to pew. You know everything. Bless. Right, and I will see you all on Thursday. Love you. Bye.